Hi guys, I'm Steph. Thank you so much for checking out my channel today. As you can see, I don't have any makeup on, which you probably realized was going to happen because you clicked on this video to see my everyday makeup routine. So that is what we're going to get into today. Pretty much everything I'm using in this Get Ready With Me is in a project, either my winter project pan or my year-long project pan. Some of these are even from the roulette pan collab I was doing earlier this year. So on my winter project pan update, I asked if anybody wanted to see this makeup routine, then I would film this video, and thank you Amanda for commenting and saying you would like to see it. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get into it. So starting with, I'm just going to use a primer. I'm using the Porefessional, and I'm kind of just putting this on the areas where I want to make sure nothing is going to, well, I guess where my pore areas are. So for me, it's my cheeks. I also like to do it in my smile hat lines and like my forehead wrinkle to kind of like fill them in a bit. And because things are starting to get warmer, I like to go in with my One Heck of a Blot Soap and Glory Primer. This is a mattifying primer, and just put it on the areas where I tend to get a bit oilier, which is my chin, my nose, and the center of my forehead. Before I go in with my foundation, I like to do some spot concealing, and I'm using the No. 7 Match Made Concealer, and this is in the shade Calico, and I just put this on the areas where I feel like I need a bit more coverage. So my chin is usually pretty red, and then where my acne is, just want to cover that up a bit more because the foundation I go in with is a very light coverage foundation. So I find that instead of caking it on in areas, to put on the concealer first really helps. The foundation I will be using is the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation, and I used to just put this right onto the back of my hand and then put it on the beauty blender and then go over my face, and I just found that I used a lot of product that way and it somehow always looked really cakey and didn't settle down. And now I find when I dot it all over my face and then blend it in, it just looks so much nicer. It just melds into the skin so much better and doesn't look as cakey. So I apply a bit more in the areas where I want more coverage, which is like my cheeks and my chin, and my forehead I don't want too much coverage, so I kind of go there last. And then just blending it all out, I'm using the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge? What is this called? The orange one. Everyone knows what it is. And next, to brighten the under eye area, I'm going in with the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I'm in the shade Fair for this. I didn't mention it, but for the Urban Decay, I'm in the shade 0.5, which I believe is their latest shade, which still sometimes oxidizes too dark on me. I have taken the stopper out of this, spoiler for my full year project pan. And then I just like to go around like the whole eye area to just brighten it. And then going in with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder to just set my under eye area. This was in my project, the Roulette Pan project, and I have been really enjoying it to set my under eye, so still doing that. And especially if I know I'm going to be in an environment where I'm going to tend to get oily, then I like to set my oilier areas with this, which I meant is my chin and T-zone basically. Next, I'm going to go in with this cream highlighter from Collection. It is the Speedy highlighter, and I just draw that on the high points of my cheeks and up a little bit where I like to catch the light, and then I just buff it out with this angled flat top kabuki. And already you see a little bit of glow to the skin. And then next I'm going in with the cream blush, the Annabelle Perfect Cream Blush in Light Berry. This is starting to be like a bit dark for this time of year, I think, but still trying to get a bit more use out of it before it really becomes summer here, and just brushing it onto the brush and then onto my cheeks. Sometimes if I want a more pigmented look, I will apply it directly to the skin. I'm going to now set everything down with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. What's this called? Yeah, the powder. Just so nothing really like gets oily and like drips down my face throughout the day. If you have oily skin, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want everything like slicking right off. So I definitely like to go in and powder everything until it is like about like not tacky to the touch. Dry. Still feels a bit tacky. It's just going in again. Next I go in with bronzer. I'm using the Hoola Benefit bronzer. And pretty much just doing the perimeter of my face. And down the neck a little bit. I usually just place it and then I kind of go back in and blend everything out because I'm like not the most precise when placing it. And even though I used cream, blush, and highlighter, I do also like to go in with a powder. I just feel like it makes it last all day. My work days are quite long, including like my work, my commute, everything. I'm wearing my makeup for at least like 10-12 hours and I want it to last throughout the day. So I find putting down a cream product and then putting a powder product on top of it really helps everything last. For my blush, I'm using the Revolution blush in the shade Love. This is quite pigmented, so I like to start back and then move the way forward. Usually when I used to do blush, I would start at the apples of my cheeks, but I find if I do that, I just end up depositing too much color right on the apples. So I start from the back and then go forward. And then just kind of go back over the apples of my cheeks and blend it all out. I actually don't currently have a highlighter in any project, so I have been really drawn to Becca's Moonstone. I think this is pretty much like the perfect shade within the Becca highlighter line for me. And just putting that on the tops of my cheeks again. Again, layering the cream and the powder to really make everything last, and it really makes the highlighter pop a little bit more. And I like to put a little bit on the bridge of my nose. If anything's looking a bit harsh, I just go over it with a big fluffy blending brush and kind of just like blend everything together so it doesn't look like there's stripes of color on my face. And this is the point in my routine where I actually spray everything down, because I find if I use the setting spray after I do my eye makeup, either I get like mascara running down my cheeks or it ruins my eyeshadow look. So this is the point where I like to actually set my face. So I'm using the Blondie Make It Last setting spray. And I like to press that in with the flat edge of the makeup sponge. And then after that, fan myself to make sure everything dries down. Next is the brows. So I like to go in with this little mini Benefit What's Up and just use that to highlight my brow bone area. Because honestly, that's like the only way I can use this product. And it was in a project last year and I really just want to finish it up. The eyebrow pencil I'm using today is the e.l.f. brow pencil, and this was again in my Roulette Pan collab. So this was pretty much the pencil I was using for the majority of the year, and I'm in the shade Neutral Brown. And I have a tendency to raise my eyebrows when I do them, but that's actually really bad. You should try to keep it neutral because you're not walking around with your eyebrows raised all day. So if you want it to kind of fit your actual brow shape, it's best to have them as neutral as possible, which is not always the easiest for me. So then just going back in and brushing all that through. Maybe I can never get them to match. I don't even like try anymore. This one has a scar in it. This I don't know. It looks so bad. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm sure you know how to do your brows, so you probably don't need this step, and now I understand why everyone does it off camera. Let's not be judgy about this. It's fine. It'll all work out. Sometimes I use a brow gel, sometimes not. Today I am not going to. Next I am going to go in with eyeliner. This is the Rimmel Scandalize in Nude, and I'm going to do my waterline on the bottom and the top. I like to do this before I do my eyeshadow because I'm like moving my eye around and everything, and I just find it messes up my eyeshadow after. So I just do the waterline and then the upper rim as well. And for an everyday look, I like going in with the nude color because I feel like it just makes me look awake and it's nothing too dramatic. It's kind of more subtle makeup on the everyday to work, though I wish it didn't have to be. Next I'm going in with my eyeshadow primer, and I'm using the Essence I Heart Color Intensifying eyeshadow base, which is in my year-long project pan. So I just tap a little on the lid and then spread it out with my ring finger. I use the ring finger because I think it's like, I heard it's the least strong finger, so you want to be really delicate in this area. So yeah, that's why I also apply my eye cream with my ring finger. So next, the eyeshadow palette I use every day is the I Heart Makeup Salted Caramel, because 2 of these shades are in my winter project pan. I'm going to be setting the lid with Delicious, just a cream color, and just use that all over from everywhere I put primer. Next, I go in with Sweet, and I use that in the crease thrown out a bit as well as the lower lash line. Next, I go in with Yum, this golden shade, for my inner corner highlight. Then all over the lid from my year-long project pan is the ColourPop Supernova Shadow running in Overbits. And this one I find isn't as metallic as the others, which is why it's a good everyday type shade. And using the viewfinder as a mirror makes it very difficult to figure out where I just placed it. So then sometimes I'll just go in with that brush I used for blending the crease color to blend it all together. Next, I'm just going to do my mascara off camera. I'm using the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiplying Volume Mascara. I don't have a mascara in any product. I don't tend to put mascaras in projects, so this is just the one I'm currently working on. So I just did 1 coat of the mascara, and the final step is lips. And this isn't something you need, but it's in my project, so I try to use it every single day. This is the e.l.f. Plumper and Primer. So first I go in with the plumper shade, then with the primer shade, which is kind of like a concealery coat, and I find that it's like really gross, so I kind of just try to blend it all in my lips together. And usually I go in with my ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in Echo Park, because this is in my year-long project. And I'm just going to do this off camera because I can't do this in the viewfinder, I'm sorry. And there you have it. When I still had my Sephora lipstick before I finished it off, I would put that over top. They're basically the same color, and I found that the combination of the liquid lipstick as well as the bullet lipstick really made just the combination last all day, and I didn't have to worry about touching up my lips at all. Sometimes if I'm feeling more glossy, I go in with my Sexy Mother Pucker lip gloss. Obviously, gloss, lip gloss. Anyways, so that is it. That is my everyday makeup look. So nice highlighter going on, some nice blushy cheeks, a very subtle eye. Lipstick might be a bit much for every single day, but it's the one I have in my project, so it's the one I wear pretty much every day. And yeah, that's it. I tend to switch it up on the weekend. I still try to use my project pan items, but I try to have a bit more fun with it. But when I'm going to work, it's kind of nice to know exactly what makeup I'm going to put on, in what order, what look I'm going to get, and every time it turns out pretty decent. So I'm very happy with it. I would love to know what your everyday makeup routine looks like. I'm sure this has like a lot of steps. It's pretty much because I'm just trying to use every single product in my projects, which makes for a very long morning routine, but I've got it kind of down now, so it goes pretty fast. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then I would love it if you would consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!